Kai was born on a lava field on Hawaii's Big Island and raised in the 1980s Santa Cruz. Kai caught her first wave at 10 and has spent her life chasing surf and stories across 6 continents while embodying Mary Oliver's question, what do you want to do with your one wild and precious life? This led Kai around the world, skydiving in New Zealand, sharing bananas with monkeys in Bali, and backpacking and pioneering surf spots in Panama. Kai's married to the love of her life, her big wave surfer husband, and they share 2 daughters, ages 13 and 10. Kai lives on the north shore of Maui with her family and has listened to the whales underwater and danced with a shark. A story she is going to share with you to close out our show.
I scramble as fast as I can over the slippery lava rocks in the intertidal zone, my favorite North Shore surf spot, and stumble onto the compacted red dirt beneath the sea cliff above. Blood is running down my legs. 2 guys are waving frantically from the cliff top. Are you okay? Are you hurt? My surfboard leash is still connected to my ankle, but severed in 2. My brain is trying to catch up to my body, but time is moving both so slowly and so quickly that I'm left paralyzed in the moment. Do you need help? One of the guys from the cliff top shouts to me. He's gripping his shirt in his hand, a makeshift tourniquet. I've been trying to find a way down the cliff to get to you, but you look okay. I look down at my legs. Do I need a tourniquet? Nothing makes sense. I think I'm okay. I'm bleeding, but I think it's from the rocks. We thought you got bit, but it looks like it just got your board. I look down at my brand new olive green shortboard hanging precariously under my right arm, and for the first time, I see a massive chunk and teeth marks right where my leg would have been had I been lying down rather than sitting. I'm standing safely on the ground, but I'm not in my body. My mind is reeling, trying to compartmentalize an experience that can't be put in a box. I knew I shouldn't have paddled out that day, the second day of Sharktober on Maui. I attributed my jumpiness at surfacing turtles and the knot in my gut to a series of life-altering events from the year prior. Diagnosis and surgery to remove a parathyroid tumor, my dad's mental health break, my family's business flooding, my mom's heart attack, the fires that ravaged our island, and the loss of my beloved cousin just 6 weeks prior. Hold up your board, I'll take a photo. You'll want it later, one of the cliff guys says. I pose, holding my board in front of me. It's surreal to look back at that photo now, my face smiling just minutes after being attacked by a shark. I try to make sense of what has just happened by reliving the moments that led up to it. After the long 10-minute paddle out from the beach, I found myself sitting in the lineup with 3 tween neighbor boys. We talked about our dogs, and then they paddled over to the left part of the break, about 100 yards away. When I realized I was going to be alone on the right, that sinking feeling came back. But waves are a limited resource, so it's a rare occurrence to get a surf break all to yourself on this planet of 30 million surfers. Grief muddies our knowing. I didn't listen to mine. Legs dangling over my board, eyes fixed on the horizon, I watched for the next set when, bam! It came from behind me, knocking me off my board, sending me flying into the air, biting my board and severing my leash in the process. It felt like being sucker punched by a giant limbless muscle. When I came up, my board was a good 10 feet away from me. I knew not to swim to it, because if I so much as splashed, I would look like prey. I needed to stay calm and face the direction the shark swam in case it came back. Seconds later, I felt myself being lifted out of the water and onto the shark's back. I remember only snippets, one being that I yelled, "Oh shit!" Another getting very clear, I do not want to be here right now, but I have no choice, so it is on. I was only acutely aware of a few things at this point. One, its rough sandpaper skin against my thighs and the inside of my arms. Two, that I was somehow holding on to its dorsal fin as it thrashed, trying to get me off of it. Three, that if I didn't stay calm and fight for my life, I was gonna get hurt or worse. And four, that I needed to warn the neighbor kids. Between surfing and freediving, I've luckily thought a lot about survival and encounter strategies. And miraculously, they kicked in. You never know how you're gonna react in an unthinkable situation like that. But adrenaline is a crazy thing. I removed my right hand from the shark's fin and started pounding on its back as hard as I could. I was fighting not just for my limbs, but for my life. Luckily, my punch caused the shark to buck me off, and by some miracle, it retreated. I'm only able to remember that I'm standing on solid ground when the cliff guy starts talking again. Give me your phone number so I can send you this photo. His name is Brendan, and he's a pastor in a local church. We discover we have mutual friends. He tells me he's also a spear fisherman who frequents the Tavares Reef, and that my shark is a 10 to 12 foot Galapagos shark that also frequents the reef. He also shares that he was bumped by a shark while surfing with his 2-year-old daughter on his board 2 bays over the same time last year. Before I try to make my way up the cliff and get back to the parking lot, he gives me this advice. Getting right back in the ocean helped my shark trauma. There's gonna be waves and light winds all week. Go surf tomorrow if you can. I thank him, and when I finally get back to the parking lot, I'm surrounded. A surfing acquaintance happened to be checking the waves through binoculars and had watched the whole thing happen. The entire beach knew. Suddenly, I'm in the middle of a stranger hug. People remind me to take deep breaths. They're offering me water. Somebody pours hydrogen peroxide on my leg and hand cuts. People keep asking if I'm okay. Humans are inherently good, and this was a gentle reminder of that. I spend the following hours and days in a haze of interviews with Maui County lifeguards, the Department of Land and Natural Resources, the International Shark Attack Database, and the media. I relive the moments I was on top of that shark multiple times each hour. That shark follows me everywhere. Part of me feels like a goddamn female Crocodile Dundee. And part of me wants to crawl into the protective shell of my home to ride out the rest of 2023 on land, an unnatural place for me. The game of telephone, or as we call it in Hawaii, the coconut wireless, begins. I can't sleep without being completely cocooned in my husband's arms, even though Maui is still windless and sweat drips from my goosebumpy skin. But as I fall into short fits of sleep, my mind's eye begins to morph the attack into a primal dance, where I tangle in yin-yang formation with a shark underwater, twisting and turning, a dance of feminine spirit and nature intertwined. I take the pastor's advice and I surf the next 4 days. I'm a complete wreck, but I push through. My heart beats so fast, it feels like it's gonna jump out of my chest and just run to the horizon line. It feels, I hear my fellow surfers talking about the attack, not knowing it's me. It feels like the twilight zone, and also the beginning of the harsh reality that I no longer feel safe in the place that I've been finding refuge in since before I could walk. On day 6, I sit across from my dear friend Zelly, a native Hawaiian kahuna, an energy healer, a keeper of knowledge and cultural wisdom from the island of Molokai. I turn my gaze to her wise and empathetic eyes, framed with John Lennon-style glasses, her semi-pursed but always smiling lips, the soft gray waves of her shoulder-length hair, her narrow shoulders and tanned skin. There's Palo Santo burning somewhere in the room. I take in a block print of Queen Liliuokalani and an altar filled with crystals, striped feathers, and deities from many cultures and religions. I know I'm in the right place. I tell her how I'm feeling, my nervous system unsettled, the grief around my ocean sanctuary, now feeling unsafe, but I don't tell her about my dreams. I lay on her table and she chants in Hawaiian, eyes closed, her hands hovering over my shaking body. E ho mai, ka ike mai, luna mai e. She breaks her trance. Your amakua came to you, she says. The shark, Mano. You knew she was coming. I sob, deep heaves from deep within. Yes, I whisper. Hawaiians believe that their loved ones who have passed on take the form of an amakua, our guardian animal, and watch over and guide their descendants. She goes on. There is no separation between the visible and spiritual world, between nature and humans. That shark came to knock the fear out of you. You have big work to do in this world, and it's time, isn't it? Yes. I can hardly whisper now, an ocean streaming down my face. I know exactly what she is talking about. It's time to write. You know, I don't see it as an attack, she continues. I see you dancing with your amakua in... She closes her eyes, pauses, searching deep within. A sort of yin-yang formation. I gasp. Zelly, I say, that's the exact image I've been seeing in my dreams. Yes, I know. One month ago, Zelly died of a brain tumor, found in August. She may not be in this earthly realm any longer, but I can still hear her words. Listen to the universe, love. It's time. Say yes. Always say yes. So here I stand before you tonight to say yes.
Yay!